So what I will say and what jumped out at me, and I was writing it down just so I didn't forget that point. Um, we get to where we were based off of a trauma. What we've said, like there's some type of trauma, some type of way that you were raised, or just something that kind of just broke through, and that became what made you relentless, right? It's what made you put your foot on the gas and not look back. And so when we talk about raising our children with a better life, so they don't necessarily have that trauma, the question is said, can they be as relentless and as successful as we were? And I think the downfall to that is we still don't want to give those type of traumas to our children to still put that in them so that they can be successful. But one thing that I think that we learn as we continue to become more successful as business owners is that your network is everything and the resources that you have is everything. Yeah. So when you talk about our kids not necessarily having that relentless battle or that trauma, they don't necessarily need the trauma because now they have the resources. So it's not as hard for them to be successful because of what we went through to get certain resources. And now that they have those resources, at that point, I think as a parent, our job is to educate our children on how to best take advantage of those resources to continue to expand, right? It may not be how to build a wholesaling business or a virtual assistant business from the ground up. How do you take it from 100 employees to 1,000 employees? Because they're starting off at a whole different level than we are. So they just got to be able to know how to hire the right people to take it certain ways.
So my only pushback is that generally when people come into like the family business, they lack the skill set that is needed to get to where they are.
It doesn't have to be the family business. And I think that's where a lot of us sometimes that's where we fail is we assume that they're going to do what we want to do.
Everywhere. Mm-hmm. And then like, okay, the son takes over, another family member takes over. But there is a lack of skill set that has had to be developed to get the company there and then still grow it.
Yeah, there's a and then there's a lack of pride of what it took to get it there. I mean, I don't give a shit what you say. You know, I pass away and say, you know, this business goes on through my son and he does have a passion in it. And then my grandkids come around. My grandkids, they're only holding on to it because my son didn't want to let it drop because it was something that he realized that I built from the ground up. So maybe it did mean more to my son, but to my grandchildren, it won't mean shit.